Consistent severe storms. Michael here to give you an update on the latest on what's happening out there in the weather community. So as you can see here, this is the MRMS national model here, and we're going to continue to see multiple severe thunderstorms, a line of severe thunderstorms that's on our map here, and this is going to be from areas of South Georgia into areas of Augusta and areas of Columbia. Consistent shower and thunderstorm activity. Now, this main line has sort of gone away from the Columbia, Charlotte, Augusta, and Macon metros, but you get the point that there's just a lot of severe storms, and I talked about this in today's video, on the early video if you haven't seen that. Severe storms will be possible across multiple areas of the South. Look at all of these wind reports. You have a wind report here, multiple wind reports that are in effect for areas. And as you can see, there are 2 power poles on fire and multiple trees down at Pine Needle and Old State Road. Road is blocked, as you can see there. That source is from the Storm Prediction Center. As you can see, there's just a lot of bad weather that's happening here. We have a wind report here. Columbia County Dispatch reported a tree down in the roadway near the intersection of Ray Owens Road and Bennett Road. Then we have another wind threat. Emergency manager reports a large tree down on a home in the 100 block of Joy Street. And these are actual sources in which these reports are coming from. The Storm Prediction Center source, well, as you can see, in the FFC. Broadcast media sent pictures of several large trees downed and uprooted along Matthew Street. Consistent rain. Some of these are dangerous, strong, severe thunderstorms that will continue for multiple areas into areas of South Georgia, the low country of the Carolinas, the areas of the Outer Banks. You're up next, but those storms may die off about time they get to the Outer Banks, so that's something that we have to keep our mind on there. Severe thunderstorm warning east of Charlotte, severe thunderstorm warning southeast of Augusta, and severe thunderstorm warning now entering towards the Myrtle Beach areas. There was a severe thunderstorm warning, I think, just southeast of Columbia there, but that is now gone. Special weather statements in effect there, no doubt about it. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for all of these areas that are in effect that you see. You can't really see it, but let me tap on that. Severe thunderstorm watch for all of those areas that are in effect there, for areas that the National Weather Service in Columbia and Raleigh and Wilmington, I believe, as well, issued those watches and warnings. Areas of Charleston, the National Weather Service in Charleston may have issued some of those as well. But as you can see, we also have some more severe storms that are happening here. We have some special weather statements. Areas of Forsyth, areas of Griffin. This is just south of the Atlanta metro area. South Fulton, you're getting in on that action of some heavy rain and possibly going to be a thunderstorm there in just a second. So what we have here is a line of storms that's continuing, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a cold front that's setting up through. So this rain, shower, and thunderstorm activity, a lot of thunderstorm activity, bringing in that rain favorability there. So what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with the shower and thunderstorm, like I said before, multiple wind reports that are in this area. I just want to describe to you what is happening in these areas west of Raleigh and east of Raleigh. Raleigh, you're sort of getting a break right now for now. Shower and thunderstorm, a lot of showers around you. As you can see, a wall cloud was reported as well for multiple, not for multiple, but for that area, multiple reports that are in effect there. 60-mile-per-hour winds, wind report. Let's go down here to Louisiana. Let's talk about this. We also have a mesoscale discussion here indicating the possibility of winds up to 60 miles per hour. Wouldn't be surprised if a severe, never mind, the severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for that area already. So we already have multiple severe thunderstorms that are happening. Severe thunderstorm watch, so we have a threat going on down here. To be honest, they might as well just set that severe thunderstorm watch for areas of southeast Georgia at this point, because that severe weather risk is extending as we speak at this moment. So as you can see, special weather statements in effect there for Louisiana. As we get into areas of New Orleans, around Hattiesburg, we're going to continue the shower and thunderstorm activity. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect down here into Florida. You also have some special weather statements. Going to have a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be south of Kissimmee here. Now, I believe this is going to be areas of maybe Osceola County, not Osceola County. I think Osceola County, yes, Osceola County probably going to be in that area as well. I had to think there for a second. Flood watches in effect for these areas into the Carolinas. They were waiting for this. Well, not sort of. They predicted this. They were heads up for the flood watch there. They had already issued that, I believe, last night in effect for those areas there. Severe thunderstorm warning in this area here for areas of Pearson, south of Douglas, Georgia. You are looking at a severe thunderstorm warning. Multiple of these areas, as we get into the northern sections, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch here in effect. And severe thunderstorm warnings going to be scattered across multiple parts of the country, but the main topic right now for severe weather is going to be in this area, New Orleans and Shreveport, well, not Shreveport, New Orleans specifically, and northward. And this long line of storms that is extending all the way from south, not even South Georgia, the panhandle of Florida, all the way up to areas of North Carolina. We have multiple reports of some strong winds, as you can see there. We have a thunderstorm report that says, let's read this here, multiple large branches down Cumberland and Hope counties. The area is experiencing some power outages, and we're going to look at those power outages probably in just a second, if I can just deal with those. But I know that there's been a lot of power outages, so if we can look at them, I'm going to look at them in a second. But power outages for multiple areas across the United States. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at for our Storm Prediction Center outlook for today? Down here to New Orleans, they have that slight risk and effect there, so I expected that to be there, as we have that mesoscale discussion now, so I expected that to be extended. The slight risk of severe weather are going to be stopped right at Augusta and right down to areas like, I think this is Sylvania, Georgia. Sylvania, Georgia, it stops too. But to be honest, that slight risk, to be honest, could go all the way down to the panhandle of Florida. I mean, to be honest, at this point, they literally could just connect this all into one slight big risk, because I think this is the cold front heading down. We have all of these storms, sort of two areas to watch, but they might as well just connect both of those areas at this point with severe weather of what is unfolding right now. Tornado risk, we don't have a tornado risk for today, except, well, for that southern section. At the top near Chicago, you have a tornado risk, and then you get into areas near Mullen and Gordon, you're going to have that tornado risk as well. For your wind threat, going to be a dashed line wind threat, and as we get down here to the south, as you can see, that wind threat mainly in these areas as well. Chicago, we've seen it with the wind threat reports. I'm surprised the south doesn't even have a damaged wind threat line, the dashed line there. Hail threat, going to be in those dashed lines in those dashed areas, as you can see the hail threat for today, and that's what we're dealing with today. This is what it's unfolding right now with that afternoon convection. This is today. Let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow could be a different story. We have a marginal risk, multiple pockets of marginal risk of severe weather that are going to be possible. This is going to be mainly around the Bozeman area that you want to watch out for. East of Denver, east of Indianapolis, around Pittsburgh, and then south of Springfield, and going to be in Little Rock and Shreveport. These are areas to watch out for. Now, luckily for us, we have no tornado watch tomorrow. That's good. Wind threat going to be along these areas, and hail threat going to be in two of those areas. That's going to be around the Pittsburgh area and going to be around the Little Rock area. Now, for your day 3 outlook, what do we've got going on here? We have a marginal risk of severe weather in New York so far, and then we have a marginal risk of Miles City, Glasgow, Billings, and then here by Pierre, we have an area of a risk as well. So New York marginal risk, probabilistic, of course, going to be in those areas, although they are already having that dashed line near Pierre. Got to be something that we got to watch out in the next few days. But as you can see here, here's a look at our categorical. We got showers and thunderstorms scattered across. Today's going to be one of our higher end of severe weather threat. We're going to continue to see these line of storms continue. I don't think we'll have another line of severe weather as of now. The way it's looking, as we saw the model run there, it's not looking like we're going to get another line, because we had sort of a line of storms that were pushing through this area, sort of around Columbia, Charlotte, and things like that. It was moving across that area, but then it sort of had another line, which is the main line that we're seeing right now, move across these areas, but I think it's sort of over now. So these severe thunderstorm warnings kind of chain link together, and I kind of see why they haven't linked that severe weather threat together, because as you can see there, but I believe that severe weather threat, so they really can if they want to link. So they really can link that severe weather if they want to. But look at it, there's just this cluster of severe thunderstorms that are happening near Hattiesburg, south of Jackson, and around Baton Rouge, east of Alexander. Severe thunderstorms galore. You see a whole bunch of severe storms here. We're looking at the radar here out of Valdosta, so that's something we got to watch out for. Severe storms possible. Look at all of these severe thunderstorm warnings. Showers and thunderstorms to continue across multiple of these areas, so this is something we've got to look out for. Now, as far as our outlook, there is a lot to unfold in today's video, to be honest, and I just want to make sure that you have all the information. Flooding possible as far south as Augusta, going to go into areas north around south of Washington, D.C. You're going to be dealing with that flooding. Going to be around Richmond, areas of flooding. That is today. Remember, this is today's weather that I'm showing you for this timestamp. We got more weather to talk about tomorrow. As we get into tomorrow, we have some flooding possible as well across eastern sections around south of New York, around Jersey, Delmarva. West of Denver, you're going to be dealing with the marginal risk, including you in Denver as well. Going to be around Denver, the middle parts of the country that you're dealing with this marginal risk of severe weather on your Sunday, August 23rd. Consistent weather that we're dealing with. Consistent. We have a lot of weather. Here's a look at our tropical weather outlook now. Yes, I'm bringing the tropics here. We do have a 20% chance of Atlantic disturbance, and then we have another Atlantic disturbance out here, 10%, and then a low 20% there. To be honest, those storms out there, I wouldn't say they're not going to do anything, but those storms out there, to be honest, we don't need to really worry about them as of right now. As you have Hurricane Lala that is still out there in the ocean, will become a tropical storm eventually. Then you have another tropical storm that's going to get near Hawaii, maybe having some impacts on the Big Island that you may be dealing with there. But this tropical system going to be moving westward, going to become a tropical depression as of right now. Not going to be much problems that are going on. We do have some areas of development to watch out for in the Pacific, 60% in the next 2 days, 80% in the next 7 days, and then as we continue with this next disturbance, 20% and 50%. And then you're also dealing with another 0 and 20%. These are areas we got to watch out for, but specifically in the Atlantic, like I said, I don't think these storms are going to really do much. But we're still going to have to look out for what these storms could possibly do. Now, we're going to look at the GFS model just to see the model runs of what can be happening. And we're going to look at these the GFS model and see what could be happening with these storms. But as we move across the GFS model, and as this loads, as you can see, we're just going to just give me one moment. And we're going to be seeing, I know you can't see the low pressure here on your map, but as you can see, we do have that storm that's going to be out there. And then it sort of dissipates and dies off. What do we have in the next upcoming days? Something we definitely got to watch out for. As you can see, there's a lot of tropical moisture in this area, and then this also moves northward. There's a lot to happen here, a lot that we could look at. A lot of shower and thunderstorm activity will continue. Areas of San Juan, Puerto Rico, you're going to be dealing with the possibility of tropical downpours. Could we be having that tropical development? We will see. We also have another storm system that tries to go out here, as you can see with the GFS, that's spinning, that's going on near San Juan. These areas specifically, you're going to be on lookout. You're not necessarily dealing with these storms right now. Like I said, with that model in the time frame, we're watching these storms. This storm right here, not going to be dealing with us in the United States, going to be mainly over there in that side of the world. But as we get towards the United States, we're really looking at this system that's near Bermuda. Probably not really going to give us some problems, but that could change. That's why we always got to keep an eye out. That's why the National Hurricane Center has this under tropical development. We got to look towards the east coast of the United States. See if this storm ends up developing, because I know, and this is what you mean. This is what I mean by you have development, and you have that 20% of it not developing. When we had that 80% storm, you had the 80% chance of development in the next, I think, 2 days and the next 7 days. That storm was at 80% chance. It looked like it was going to develop out there in the Atlantic with the El Nino, the temperatures and things like that. In the Atlantic, it did not form. Went down. We saw it trickle down, and then eventually never even happened. So we have tropical storm Dolly, which would be the next name when that storm becomes. So we'll see how this ends up going. We're going to be looking across the United States. We're going to be looking at that severe weather. But first, let's get past today. Multiple severe storms will continue to be possible. I don't think we're going to get any tornado warnings, but just be alert. Severe thunderstorm warnings will continue all the way across these areas. You might have an isolated tornado here and there, but I don't think we'll have to worry about that, hopefully. But these areas, you still got to look out for it. Severe thunderstorm warning is going to be in effect. Flash flood warning is going to be in effect as well. Flood watch is in effect as well for these areas. Got to watch out for these areas as well. Going to be looking at let's look at the National Weather Service, and then I'm going to head out here. As you can see, severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. To be honest, like I said before, southern Georgia into areas of southern Alabama and Panhandle, Florida. Wouldn't be surprised if they had a severe thunderstorm watch in these areas. They really should link up these areas, have a severe thunderstorm watch, go all the way consistently through, because to be honest, southern Georgia, you're getting these severe thunderstorms. You got to watch out for these areas. East of Charlotte, you have a severe thunderstorm warning in these areas. That's why I have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect there. And we're going to continue. This severe thunderstorm watch honestly should be extended for more areas, because we're having a lot of severe thunderstorms. Even down here in Florida, we could have a severe thunderstorm watch be extended down to near Broward County. But to be honest, there's not a lot of activity going on there. But southern Georgia, as you can see, those line of storms will continue for the rest of the night. Heat advisories in effect for the southern, south central parts of the country. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for areas of Chicago, Salt Lake City. Heat advisories. Red flag warnings returned back for areas of the west. We don't have any air quality alerts, although we have some air quality, probably some from the fire weather watches. Eventually, we have a red flag warning, not red flag warning, extreme heat warning in effect. Got an isolated severe thunderstorm warning going on down here. This is radar indicated for that area. We are dealing with the heat advisories near Los Angeles and San Diego. And like I said, we have those showers and thunderstorms we got to watch out for areas of southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, southern Georgia, into areas of eastern Georgia. To be honest, as you can see, as that line shifts more eastern, some of those watches are expiring. So if you're in areas of along this coastal area, not coastal area, if you're along these areas, as you can see, that severe thunderstorm watch has been dropped for areas of north of Augusta, dropped for areas north of Columbia, because I think there were more areas that were in this whole entire zone. Severe thunderstorm watches are dropping as these storms continue to move east. But my name is Michael, here to give you an update on the latest. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you out there in the weather community. Stay safe.